Hi everyone, Ashlyn here from Minister for Happiness, and welcome to this week's story time. Each week I share an inspiring story, one for you to reflect upon and hopefully take the lesson into your life. And this week's story is from a collection of stories about the Buddha. I hope you enjoy it. Once upon a time, a number of disciples went to Buddha and said, "Sir, there are living here in Savatthi many wandering hermits and scholars who indulge in constant dispute. Some saying that the world is infinite and eternal, and others saying that the world is limited and not eternal. Some saying that the soul dies with the body, and others saying that it lives on forever, and so forth. What, sire, would you say concerning them?" The Buddha wondered for a moment, and then he said, "Once upon a time, there was a certain king who called to his servant and said, 'Come, fellow, and gather me all the men in Savatthi who were born blind, and show them an elephant.' The servant said, 'Very good, sir,' and went and did as he was told. He said to the blind men he gathered, 'Here is an elephant.' And to one man he stood him in front of the head of the elephant, another by the ears, another by the tusk, another by the trunk, one by the foot, one by the back, the tail, and the top of the tail, saying to each of these men that this is an elephant. When the blind men felt the elephant, the king went to each one of them and said, 'Well, blind man, have you seen the elephant? Tell me, what sort of thing is an elephant?' Then the man who stood by the head said, 'Sire, the elephant is like a pot.' The man who had observed the ear replied that the elephant is like a willowing basket. Those who had been presented with the tusk said, 'Sire, it is like a plough.' Others said the body was like a granier, the foot a pillar, the back a mortar, the tail a pestle, and the top of the tail like a brush. Then they began quarrelling, shouting, 'No, it isn't like that. Yes, it is. An elephant is not like that at all. Yes, it is.' And they quarrelled until they came to blows over the whole matter. Brethren, the king was delighted with the scene. Just so are these preachers and scholars, holding various views, blind and unseeing. In their ignorance, they are by nature quarrelsome, wrangling, and causing disputes, each maintaining reality is this and that." Then Buddha rendered these meanings by uttering a verse to uplift everyone. "Oh, how they cling, wrangling, some who claim for preacher and monk the honoured name. For quarrelling, each to his view they cling. Such folk see only one side of things. You see, in life, everyone sees the world through his eyes, hears the world through his ears, smells the world through his nose, and feels the world through his skin. Each to his own. We mustn't quarrel about the definition and whatnot, because for the sake of an argument is not the argument but the enlightenment. So say no to those who just come for a quarrel. Say no to those who don't want to understand that each has his own different view, and respect that." So I think this is a wonderful lesson as always. All stories from the Buddha, I think, are quite enlightening and interesting. And this particular one is really just about respecting each other's views and realizing that we are all experiencing life from our own viewpoint, from our own perspective. And the most important thing is to stay with what you believe, no matter what anybody says. You don't need to convince others of your beliefs. And in just the same way, we don't need to convince others that their beliefs are incorrect just because they're different from ours. It's important to realize that we are all experiencing life from our own standpoint. So let's be respectful of each other's opinions and views and beliefs. And I think that would make life a lot easier. So I hope you liked this week's story. And as always, I'd ask you to like and share this, because you never know who it might speak to. You never know who might need to hear this story and take the lesson into their lives. So until next week, as always, stay healthy, stay happy, and stay safe. Bye.